Annette.
Thank you. It's wonderful being here today, and you're right, this space is amazing. This is my first time here, so when I walked in this space, it's like, yes, I love it. I love it. So sometimes the space that we're in is the energy created can be created by just what we do in that space. So I've seen this over and over again. When people come together in prayer or meditation, we can change the energy of a space, and it's beautiful. But we can also change the energy of the space by understanding the energies of the earth, the energies around us. So there's a couple different ways we can shift it. When we have the support of the space, of the earth, of the space around us, of the walls, everything else we do in that space actually gets amplified. So I don't know about you, and I'm guessing a lot of you are a lot like me. I grew up feeling energy or connecting with energy in ways that I thought everybody experienced. So I would walk into a room and instantly feel that something was wrong. Somebody just had a fight in this room. There was an argument and it didn't feel good. Or I would go into a space, either shut down, or go into another space and feel uplifted, light, supported in that space. And as a child, as children, we think, oh, everybody has this. And I didn't know until probably 10 years ago that it was something that everybody didn't feel. And so as a child, you may have seen color. You may have heard voices or heard energies. So every one of us, as an awakened soul, our spiritual senses have been awakened. We haven't always been supported in that awakened soul environment, but this is a time that we are supported. There are people that can help you understand what your experience has been. So one of the things that happened for me about 10 years ago that really shifted and transformed my life was a woman coming to Fargo, North Dakota. I was living in North Dakota at the time, and her name is Marie Diamond, and she came to Fargo, North Dakota to teach a diamond dowsing class. And in that diamond dowsing weekend, I experienced an awakening. And it's like, oh, this is what I have been experiencing all my life. These are the energies that I've been feeling, but I didn't know what they were. It gave a voice and name to what I had experienced all my life. And it felt wonderful. So I've been doing dowsing. I've been healing environments and homes and lands and space clearing since then, and have become very passionate about it. And one of the questions I am always asked is, what made you so passionate about it? Why? What happened? And like a lot of other people, when they step onto something that they become very passionate about, there's a reason. So the two short little experiences that I like to share is what happened after I learned how to dowse. One actually happened at the dowsing class. So we're sitting in the first day of the dowsing class, and one of the things we're learning how to do is to find and cure geopathic stress lines. Geopathic stress are underground water, they're fault lines, they're energies of the earth, and when we're outside, they're fine, we don't feel it so much, but when they're under our homes, it creates a stress. It's stress on our bodies, stress on our energy fields. So we're learning about how to cure them, and one of our pieces of our homework was to go home and douse our bedrooms. Find geopathic stress lines. Are you sleeping in any of them? So there was a woman in the class, her name is Kim. She had been my client for about 4 years, and she came to me. I was doing a lot of holistic healing at the time, craniosacral therapy, energy works, massage, and she came to me because she had migraine headaches. And these migraine headaches were getting worse and worse over the years. So she was seeing other complementary practitioners. I wasn't the only one, but nothing was helping. So she came to the dowsing class, went home that night, found 2 geopathic stress lines in her bedroom, and found out that they were crossing under her pillow where she was sleeping. She cured them, and the next morning she woke up without a headache for the first time in 15 years. It was one of those huge aha moments for me that it's like, oh my gosh, you mean it's that simple? Something in our environment can create that much pain and stress, and I was thinking of all the money and all the energy and all the time she put into finding a way to heal, and it was the energy of her environment that finally did it. She was ecstatic. So that was a big piece as a healer, somebody who was helping other people to heal. I needed that piece to understand that the energy of the environment is a big piece that we need to take a look at. Second thing that happened was with my grandson. About 6 months before I took the dowsing class, my daughter and her family moved into a new home, and within days, my 4-year-old grandson at the time started having these terrible tantrums, like terrible as in 3 times a day, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at a time. She couldn't calm him down. She started taking him to child psychologists, psychiatrists, the medical doctor, just what is going on with this child. Nobody had an answer for her, and the only solution she received from any of these people were to put him on medication, and it was something that she was really resisting. I learned how to douse, went in her space, went in her home, found what's called a negative vortex in Bradley's bedroom, and he was sleeping right next to it. And a negative vortex is one of those, call it a black hole. It's a counterclockwise spin that pulls everything into just a heavy, dark place. And the only way he could let us know that something was wrong was by these terrible tantrums. So doused the space, cleared that energy, his tantrums disappeared. Those were the 2 main things that happened for me after I learned how to douse that really created the passion for teaching, for bringing this information to people. And I have been helping people understand that the energy of their environments can have an effect on them, consciously or unconsciously. Not everybody can walk in a room and feel that something is off or wrong. But we can douse for it and find these lines, find this stress energy, and cure it. So I'm going to take you on a little history tour just to help give you a bigger picture. And I'm kind of maybe put some pieces together. This is information you already know, but just to kind of remind you. So we all know that there are places on Earth that are high vibrational places. Sedona, which a few of us are going to next week. We're looking forward to it. Stonehenge, Avebury, Machu Picchu. These places that draw people to these areas, and they draw us for a reason. They're wonderful vibrational spaces, and when we go there, we feel uplifted, we feel inspired, we feel connected. These are places on Earth where we feel totally in alignment, connected to the earth, connected with our hearts, connected with spirit, with the divine. And in those spaces, we expand. We expand our light. We see what we're here to do. We see our soul. We're so connected. These places have always existed on the planet, and they've always drawn thousands of people a year. So we're aware of that. It's always interesting when I listen to people. We're all on our spiritual path. We're all expanding and becoming more conscious. And it's always interesting. I pay attention to people that are ready for that next level of expansion. And they either are going or planning a trip somewhere, or they just got back. And a lot of times it's to a mountain. A friend of mine in Fargo, she was going through, and I could just see she was exploring and expanding, and she went to spend 2 or 3 weeks in Banff, up in Calgary. She came back totally amazed and totally transformed, and then she went back in her house, and it's like, she collapsed. Okay. So we go to these places to be uplifted. There's something going on energetically or at a soul level that we need. It feeds us. But what I love about our homes, and this is where we're going to go today, is it's important that we have that energy in our own homes. Okay. So we also have groups of people, cultures, societies that have always known this information and have used it to build structures, cathedrals, temples, places of worship, and people intuitively, consciously or unconsciously, tapped into these fields of light and energy and created structures over them. So when you go to Europe, I did a dowsing tour a year after I learned how to douse, and we toured a lot of the cathedrals in Europe. So one of the things I learned was before 1400, most of the cathedrals in Europe were built with this information. And it means that people had the ability, the knowledge, to go in and find these high vibrational spaces, these places, and they would anchor those ley lines. They'd anchor that space with a structure. And then when everybody came into that space, they could be uplifted by the energy that was created and held. Okay? And then it expands because you're coming together in prayer and meditation, in service to the world. Everything expands from there. So we have these areas already on our planet, and we go there. We know this. The other thing we do is we go into nature. So nature, a lot of places in nature have this high vibrational energy, and we go there to recharge, to replenish, to be inspired. And we just do this automatically. We know this. The other thing that always amazes me too is when we go to seminars, we go to retreats, we go and get recharged with other people. When we're together like this, we are creating this high vibrational space. So a lot of people get inspired, they're recharged, they're revitalized from these weekends, and then they go back to their homes and they lose it. It's like, what happened? Why can't I keep that? We can't keep it because our homes are not creating or uplifting in that same vibration. So one of the things that we can do is create these high vibrational spaces in our own homes. And it's not only that we can, I believe it's vital. And it's vital because, I'm going to take you a little bit on a history tour again. If you think about 100, 200 years ago, up until probably 50 years ago, people that were on their spiritual path, their spiritual journey, if they were ready to work with a master, their spiritual teacher, they had to go to a mountaintop, a temple, an ashram, somewhere that these masters created this energy space that held their own vibration. They had to be in a high energy space themselves on this planet so they could stay connected in their own high vibration. So a student, a spiritual journeyer, had to go and find them, and they gave up probably their job, they left their family, they traveled to Tibet or wherever it is to find this spiritual teacher and stayed there the rest of their lives. There weren't that many high vibrational places. Right now, we're going into a time where more and more people are reaching what I call higher levels of awareness, where more and more people are reaching enlightenment, whatever that means for you. We are reaching higher vibrations within ourselves, and we need that support. So instead of giving up our jobs, our families, and going and spending the rest of our lives with a teacher in Tibet, we can stay where we are and have that same experience. Everything is within ourselves. We can do this. So it's important that as millions and millions of people on this planet become more conscious, that their homes, their environments support them in that experience. So one of the things that was very interesting after knowing this information, I started looking at pictures of enlightened teachers. And it was very interesting. This is just a couple of them. But when you see somebody who's depicted as enlightened or spiritual, they're always in nature or surrounded by beauty. They're in a temple. So look at the background of the spiritual teachers and their pictures, and there's always beautiful energy around them. They're not in some kind of cluttered space or dark energy. So even the background for enlightened leaders, enlightened people, is depicted in the pictures. So very shortly, I'm going to take you into a meditation where you're going to be connecting in with the energy of your own home. But one last piece I want to bring to you before we do that is an understanding of 3 aspects that we work with. Call it 3 levels of the law of attraction, but there's 3 aspects that we are all working with, and the environmental piece is a piece that a lot of people don't have yet. So we work on a spiritual level. We have that spiritual connection. We meditate, we clear our karma, we do all of that work on a spiritual level to attain higher states of awareness. We have the human piece. We have attained a lot of information and knowledge about our human actions and emotions and what that does as far as bringing it into alignment with our spirit. Is our human actions reflecting our essence? Are our human emotions reflecting who we are? So we have those 2 pieces. But the piece that a lot of people I find are missing is their environmental piece. Before I learned how to dowse, I remember sitting meditating, and I was on this, I call it the fast track of just learning all of this stuff. And I'm sitting in meditation, and I felt my energy field, and it was clearer than it had been. It had expanded, but at some point I remember like I was pushing up against a wall. It's like it was really hard to get my light out beyond a certain point. When I learned how to dowse, I felt that the environment I was in wasn't supporting the inner work I was doing. Okay? So we need those vibrational spaces to support us in everything else that we're doing. And those are the 3 levels that we are now becoming more aware of. So when we have those 3 pieces, and I'm going to have you look at the red piece, where those 3 pieces come together and align, that's where you are in total alignment within yourself. This is where energy flows. This is where inspiration happens. And this is why we get more inspired when we go out in nature, or we go up to a mountaintop, or into a cathedral or a temple. This is what happens. The more aligned we get, the more aligned we bring these 3 aspects, the more things happen for us. I call it, this is the magic. This is how magic happens in our lives. And there's an ease and a flow, because now we're not only doing everything we're doing on a spiritual human level, we have our environment to support us. I always visualize it like it creates a container. So it contains our energy. And look how big our space is compared to our energy field. Our energy field can expand into this space as big as it needs to be. And that's where it gets wonderful. Okay. So I want to take us into a meditation where you have a chance to connect. We're going to do some remote viewing. Has anyone done remote viewing before? Awesome. So I'm going to take you into a light meditation visualization where you're actually going to connect in with the energy of your home to ask questions. What does your home need? Is it light? Is it dark? Is it supporting you? And we're going to do a little meditation to help start shifting the energy of your home right now. Okay? So the meditation that I'm going to take you into was also brought in by Marie Diamond. It's called The Inner Diamond. It's a program that I teach. This particular meditation is called the Tubes of Light, and it's understanding that we can consciously connect with the quantum field, and we have access to quantum energy, quantum frequencies, that we can pull in around us to protect us, to support us, to help cleanse us. So that's the meditation we're going to be doing. But once we connect with that quantum point, it's an arm's length above your head, you now have access in the quantum field, and you can connect in with the energy of your home. So that's where we're going to go, and wanted to give you that preview before we actually go there. So if you're ready, are you ready? Okay, let's go check the energy of your homes. Let's see what they look like. All right, so I'm going to have you sit. Well, you're all sitting. So make sure your feet are connected to the floor, hands and legs uncrossed, spine is straight. And with your eyes closed, just take a moment, a few deep breaths. And as you breathe, allow your breath to bring you into a place of presence. Allow it to bring you into simply being here as much as possible. And it connects the inner and the outer realms, the inner and the outer universe. And from above your head, visualize crystalline white light. This is universal prana. And there is an unlimited amount of prana in the universe. And bring this energy down through the top of your head, filling your physical body, filling every cell of your physical body with crystalline white light. I always like to imagine myself standing under a waterfall of energy. There is an abundance. Expand your awareness now into your etheric body. And the etheric body is 4 inches around you. This is your light body, so some of your light bodies are going to be expansive beyond that. And just fill your etheric body, your light body, with crystalline white light. And as this energy comes down, flows through you, it immediately begins cleansing any energetic toxins, pollutions, residues. And allow this energy to drain down through the bottoms of your feet. Give it back to Mother Earth to be recycled. She is the master recycler. Expand your awareness a foot outside of your etheric body into your emotional body. Bring in the crystalline white light into your emotional body. Expand it again, a foot outside of the emotional body, into your lower mental body. Bring in the crystalline white light to quiet, balance your lower mental body. And this helps us quiet the lower mind, the emotions, so we can access the quantum field more powerfully, more consciously. And having calmed and quiet the lower bodies, bring your awareness now an arm's length above your head. And an arm's length above your head, you have a ball of white light. You are now consciously connecting with the quantum field. And as you touch this ball of white light, it releases light and energy over the top of your head. And some of you may feel like there is a hat sitting on top of your head. As you connect with this point, it helps you balance right, left brain. And this is your doorway, your connection to the quantum field. You now have access to quantum frequencies, to energies that you can bring in to support you. The first color I'm going to ask you to call in is royal blue. And royal blue stands for protection. And as you visualize this royal blue light around and beneath you, you are activating your firewall of protection that filters out energies created by others, energies in the environment. And it's really good that we can be as protected as our computers. So firewalls are good. Around that royal blue light, visualize rose light around and beneath you. And the rose light stands for love and support. So as you're calling in this rose light, you are opening up your field to receive unconditional love and support. Send the rose light out into the universe as far as you can imagine. And as you do this, you can ask to connect in with your angels, your spirit guides, your spiritual teachers, all of the support that you're looking for right now. From beneath your feet, visualize violet light. Bring the violet light up from the bottoms of your feet, up through your physical body, expand it into your aura field, bring it up over your head, and the violet light cleanses us. It releases old programs. I call this the delete button. Emotional programs, mental programs that we have allowed or created, we get to release into this violet light. And having prepared your own space, your own energy field, we are now ready to travel the quantum field. So bringing your awareness back to your quantum point, send a ray of white light and connect in energetically now with your house. And this is where you get to see your house energetically from a higher level of awareness. And as you look at the energy of your house, where are the places in your house that are filled with light? And as you see where these places of light are in your house, these may be the places that you love to be. Perhaps it's a meditation room, or a place where everybody gathers for dinner or after dinner. And continuing to observe the energy of your house. Where are the places that look or feel dark? Maybe some dark rooms or dark corners or dark areas. And perhaps these are the places that no one likes to be in. Perhaps it's a room that you just have shut the door, pretend it's not there. Places that everybody avoids. And having observed the energy of your house, we're now going to start shifting it. So just like we did with our own energy fields, bring in crystalline white light and fill your home with universal prana. Allow that crystalline white light to cleanse the energy of your home, releasing what's ready to be released back to Mother Earth to be recycled. You can energetically protect your home by visualizing that royal blue light around and beneath your house. Perhaps you have neighbors where you're picking up their energy and maybe it's not an energy you want in your space. It filters all of the energy created by neighbors, by everybody around you, and it creates a protection for your house. Around the royal blue light, bring in the rose light. Send that rose light again out into the universe and open up the field to receive love and support for everyone in your home, everyone who comes into the home. From beneath the house, bring in the violet light and gently, very gently, move that violet light throughout your house, sending it in every corner, in every room, going up to the corners of the ceiling. It's like bringing in a little scrubby pad. You're cleansing that space with that violet frequency. And having cleared that space, just by bringing in the colors that you brought in, you started shifting the energy of your home. You can now ask your home, it's an energy field unique to itself, what color does it need to be filled with? You've cleaned out the container. Now what color do you want to put? What color does the home need to be filled with in that container? Whatever color you hear, see, know, bring in that color, fill your space. as we do this work, we are creating a heart-centered home, a heart-centered space where everyone who lives and works or visits in that space will be lifted into a higher vibration. They'll feel this. We're going to say goodbye to our homes, and I like to finalize with the gold light. Gold light is about manifestation. So visualize a golden dome over your home. And this golden light also amplifies. So everything that you brought into your home during this meditation is amplified beyond your home. And disconnecting your white light from your home, come back to your own quantum point. And this is where we get to consciously stay connected to the quantum field by knowing this level of awareness exists an arm's length above your head. So now you're going to practice coming out of this meditation, staying connected to this quantum point. So holding your awareness at that level, rub your hands together. Bring the palms of your hands in front of your eyes. Slowly open your eyes into your hands. Gently bring yourself back into the space. Oh, you got lots of shiny homes out there. They're sparkly. So I want to open it up to the group and just hear some feedback. What happened? I like bringing people into the experience. I can talk about this all day long, but unless you have an experience of your home's energy, of connecting to the quantum field, we can't really get our minds around it. All right? So anybody would like to share their experience of what happened?
Can we get a microphone to them? So
yes.
Thank you, Annette. And initially, it was difficult for me to focus on my apartment because I live in a 3-story building with 11 units. And so what I saw initially was all of the energy around the whole building. So I had to hone in on just the apartment. And so when I was building the light and the energy around the apartment, I felt like, well, that's kind of selfish. I should probably do that for the whole building, too. So that's where I took it there.
Okay. Anybody else? Oh, Lori.
Thank you, Annette. I went to the center of my home, which in feng shui is the health and wellness, and brought in yellow. And it took me to a cupboard there. That's kind of a junk cupboard. And do you have any explanation to that other than I'm going to go home and clean that out?
Yeah. So when we're looking at energy, energy flows, and especially you talk about feng shui, there's wind, there's a flow of energy. So when you get that kind of information in a meditation, whenever we have clutter in our space, it stops that flow of energy. So your higher self is going, oh, there's something stopping that flow, and it's because of the clutter in that cupboard. Okay. So there's probably, I look at it, it's like, it's good energy coming in, but it's not coming in as strong as it can be because of what's there. Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
When I was trying to, connect to my own house, it kept showing me I kept seeing how my house sits on the street, because the street is a loop, and my house is on the very back, And so it kept showing me how I have this big window that looks out to nature and the back. There's nothing behind me. So that all the energy flows down this hill and then up into my house, and it goes right through and out the back window and clears everything. And that my sense of it was that if I sit in front of that window, I can release everything. Does that make sense? Into that flowing piece.
And that would be one piece of it.
Yeah.
But it's also, if you have good energy coming in the front, you also need some support in the back. So it's kind of like when you're sitting in your office or a chair, you need some support. Okay?
Okay.
It's called a power position. So a little bit of this is some feng shui.
Yeah. Okay.
But when something flows out, it could be the good energy flowing out the back also. So yeah, you can release it, bad energy, but you want something there to create a support so the good energy doesn't go anywhere. So we actually had a house when Marie came to feng shui our house for the first time. We had our house feng shui by her. We had a sloping in the back, and we put a Buddha. Okay, so you can put a big rock, a Buddha, something energetically that says this house is supported.
Got it.
So it's very interesting. You're getting some feng shui questions here. Oh, yes.
When I was visualizing, I kept thinking of water instead of light, and then after I got past that, trying to get the light in, it turned into like smoke. So is there any ideas as far as getting a stronger sense of visualizing light versus other earth substances?
When you were seeing the water, is like you just kept seeing water?
Yeah, so it was, and the feeling was clean, and it was energetic and powerful, but like water coming in and cleaning the whole house,
Oh,
like a tidal wave.
Yep.
Type of thing. So
So what happens for each of us, depending on your visualization, your soul, your higher self, is going to give you images that work for you. So there is no right or wrong in this. So if you were getting water to come in and clean everything, that's what you needed. That's what the house needed. And it's all energy.
yeah.
It's just different frequencies or different, vibrations about that.
Thank you.
Okay. So were you able to see the light and dark in your house? Okay. Yes, Simona.
Hello, it's my first time here. My name is Simona, and I should admit that because of a certain reason, I had a little bit difficulty to hear your meditation because your voice during meditation is very soft. So I had a little bit difficulty to concentrate, actually, to get in there. But then it was like coming. It was very strong, very powerful, just from the whole environment here. It was like from there, from that, which works actually here. That's the environment. So, but because you sent some kind of leaflet with the meditation bonus on it,
Yes.
over the email I received it, I did your meditation at home actually on Friday. And that Friday was very disturbing. Something was kind of going on. But I found 20 minutes for your meditation. Plug it in my ears, sit in my chair, and just according to your meditation, I envelop the house in that light and energy, and then that golden dome. The tension was gone. And the whole weekend is fine for me. Thank you.
So, and I think we have to start bringing it to a close, but I wanted to let you know that I have created 4 guided meditations. One is the Tubes of Light, which we started with. The second one, there's another meditation that actually takes you consciously to higher levels of awareness. The quantum point is just your first level, but when we start activating and consciously connecting with these higher levels, we start opening up our field and receiving our spiritual gifts a lot easier. Things flow. So you have 2 personal meditations and 2 meditations for your home. One is the tubes of light for your home, but another one is a space clearing, it's a little bit more powerful than the one we did this morning. I help you open up an actual vortex, a portal. So it's an understanding that over time, the energy is created by our emotions, our thoughts, energy is brought in by others, could be spirits. We get to release that. And it's necessary if we're going to keep a high vibrational home to do that. Okay, so there's 4 meditations. There's a link, once it's $5. So there's a link that you're going to get with all of those 4 meditations that you can access. I've been teaching dowsing, diamond dowsing, for 10 years. I have a class coming up at the end of February. So there's 2 ways. Now what we did today was this is where you can change and shift the energy of your house consciously with these vibrations. Okay. Once you bring in energy, it will stay there for a couple days, but then you have to keep bringing it in. Okay. What dowsing does, it keeps everything in a high vibration without you having to do that. So you're going to go and find where all these stress lines are, activate them. We have, it's a 18-inch thin copper-coated steel stick, and it's activated with a light frequency. So every once in a while I get confirmation about what these do when I place them in the ground. So last fall I was at somebody's house, and she had 3 geopathic stress lines in her yard. I like to do the yard because it helps the plants and the animals and everything else. So she had 3 geopathic stress lines. They're activated with a royal blue activated stick. So I put those 3 sticks there. The next night, it turns out she had an open house. One of her friends sees energy. So she's looking out the back door. Michelle didn't tell her what I had done the day before. So she's looking out the back, and she said to Michelle at one point, she said, "Do you know you have 3 huge blue angels protecting your yard?" And Michelle's going, "Wow, it works." So we get confirmation from the people that see and feel energy, but that's what you're doing. You're anchoring these 5th dimensional frequencies into the earth, into your house, and your walls now start vibrating at a higher vibration. So now you have a home that supports you, and that's what we talk about. That's what I share as far as creating an enlightened home. Your home is filled with light. Yes? Yes, I have a sheet out here, and again, it's $5. Once you pay for it, I'll give you a sheet with a link to go to. Okay? Yes?
Okay, so Annette, it's just dawned on you were talking about diamond dowsing. You're not talking about dowsing for diamonds. It's
That's
the
a
method.
really good question. So many times people say, "Are we going to douse for diamonds?" Well, you could, I suppose, but the programs are named after Marie Diamond. So, but it does create diamonds in your energy field. Energetic diamonds. Yes.
I just want to, I haven't met her before today, but when I was a kid, my grandfather used to douse.
Oh.
And so I was aware of it, and my experience was that one time years ago, we needed to have the septic tank dug up in the backyard, and they were having this terrible time finding where this septic tank was, and they were going to dig up the whole yard. So I said, "I want to try this." No. I went with the crust, metal,
Yeah.
totally went straight to it. They rammed a rod in and bang, there it was. I was as shocked as they were because I'd never done anything like that before. But it's amazing how this energy really does have practical application.
It does. A lot of people use it. Dowsing, and I'll just end with this. It looks like we're almost out of time. Dowsing is a technique. So it's called diamond dowsing, but dowsing is a technique. Once you learn the technique, you can use it for finding underground water. It's called water witching. Use it to find things. People use it to check the energy of their supplements, their water, all kinds of things. Once you know how to dowse, you can do all kinds of things with it. What we do in the diamond dowsing is look for stress lines or energies in our environment that are not supporting us, and we cure them. So that's a specific use for what I do. But yeah, once people learn how to dowse, it's exciting. So many ways you can use it. Okay. So I want to thank all of you for being here. This was fun. I hope you can go home, and I would say just be aware of the energy in your space as you walk in. Be conscious about if it's shifted or how it feels because of what you did today. Thank you very much.